I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
We're AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching a movie, Violet Evergarden, Eternity in the Auto Memory Doll. I'm excited. I have no idea what to expect as we've just finished the series and it capped out in a great way. Any content Violet Evergarden feels precious to me. I feel like I am about to watch Pokemon Forever for the first time in theaters. That is my current feeling going into this.
It was really amazing to get to watch the OVA as the first content that I haven't seen that we got to watch together for Violet Evergarden. But this is a movie, and I feel like I'm like shaking a little bit because of how excited I am. What does it mean? What's in it? What is the content of this movie?
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Okay. Here's my guess. Violet backstory. Violet, like, childhood. So that's not Violet.
Unless this is the backstory, like you guessed.
The Kaguya backstory? With her brother? Wow. Look at, like, the worn.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like, oh my god.
Like it's been folded and unfolded so many times.
It's so, like, worn thin.
Mm-hmm. I love when people say things that we get to not know what they said.
Lip flaps, baby.
I love that the music is consistent.
Whoa. Look at the lighting. Oh my god.
女性教師がいずれ地位ある身分になるか、そういう相手に嫁ぐ者のみ。僕はおそらく後者だ。どこにでも行ける。僕と違って。お初にお目にかかります。お客様がお望みなら、どこでも駆けつけ自動手記人形サービス。バイオレット・エヴァーガーデンです。ドールがなんでここに？ご実家のヨーク家からイザベラお嬢様のデビュタントを成功させるように。デビュタント3ヶ月後の。
3 months. We have a time frame.
That's a big job.
Wow.
そして舞踏を家庭教師として着任します。ドールってそんな仕事もするんだ。仕事は手紙の代筆ですので、ドロッセル王家からの紹介でなければお高く止まってる。僕そういうやつ。
You're gonna love her.
The ringing. They're gonna be such good friends.
I love the teddy bear on the bed.
Yeah.
And that we got to see the dog.
Yes. Send Iris, Erica.
I was gonna say we have Benedict dress up.
Oh my
as
god.
A girl.
Don't you dare tease me. Their uniform's cool. Whoa.
Violet at an all-girls boarding school. Violet's been to an all-boys place before.
綺麗なカーテシ辞書というよりお姫様のようだわ。
The positions, all of them are at the same school, but they have handmaids that... The architecture for this building.
手が止まっております。訓練はしなくてはなりません。これは必須項目です。僕ではなく、私とおっしゃってください。
Interesting touch to bring the slapping of the hand away again.
テイラー。ねえねえ。テイラー。テイラーはねえねの大事だよ。ミスヨークはどちらのサロンに入られますの？当然ミスランカスターのサロンですよね。貿易王のヨーク、同じくドロッセルに
Titans of Trade.
申し訳ございません。イザベラお嬢様はお体が弱く、今は団体生活に馴染もうとしている時期ですので、お待ちいただけますでしょうか。はい。素敵。騎士道物語。
She really is.
The composition in this movie is extraordinary.
Right as you said that.
It's ridiculous.
ごきげんよう、ミスヨーク。この後、彼女たちと寮に戻る。よろしければあなたも。うるさいな。何かおっしゃいましたか？申し訳ございません。デビュタントまでは必要以上の交流を慎むように言いつけられておりますので。まさしく騎士姫様。
Princess Knight.
今日は免じて差し上げます。
Violet gets the coolest titles.
君ってほんと完璧って感じ。言われても疑わないよ。私は孤児です。3ヶ月ここにいて。もし教育に関わる必要最低限以外のことは話さないよ。今だけ弊社には他にも道路がおりますので、仕事が滞ることは。そうじゃなくて、会いたい人とかいないの？
Someone you'll miss.
いるんだ。会いたい方はいますが、会うことができませんので。そう。
It's too close to home.
Mm. That's a lonely father right there.
Yeah.
I wonder if the coughing fits is something actually physical or psychosomatic. I love that eyesight blur. She's been alone every night until now. The view from the bathroom.
Oh.
Taylor.
いいえ、バイオレットでお加減いかがですか？あ、ずっと起きてたの？耐久訓練を受けておりますので、睡眠を取らな。問題ありません。
Maybe we're not as used to our training as we used to be now that we've acclimated to daily life.
We're a civilian now.
Oh my god.
The choppiness of her hair, you know?
これから私のし普通に話したいんだけど承知しましたですが普通の会話とはどういったものなのでしょうか例えば
Oh,
何
gotta be strict.
支度をしませんと
Right when
Oh,
she
bringing
was...
her into the light.
学校に遅れます本来ならばこの学園の生徒は男女どちらの男性はまず女性のパートを男性役は
The Princess Knight! Violet being the princess of an all-girls school makes me so happy. This could have been its own anime.
力を抜き指揮に従うことです
I hope it's only been like a week.
イザベラお嬢様ねえ一緒に入ろうよ結構で友達同士なら一緒に入るもの
Friends.
そういうものなのですかそうそうそういうものだからね
Whoa, look at the reflection in the water.
実は初めてこうやって人とお風呂入るのそうですか
The parallels between them
こっち来て
is amazing.
これも友達同士ですかわかんない
I don't know.
妹とこうやって寝てたんだそうでしたか
Oh,
Whoa.
the snow bears. And she has a teddy bear on her bed.
Oh no, I don't like that she has the teddy bear in her bed now.
おいしいなんで
It's a different bear.
I want one of these uniforms that they're wearing. I don't know where I would wear it, but... Love that.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
今日から
Whoa.
取り入れていきましょう
The choppiness of her hair, as if she cut it herself and it's growing in.
君っていつもその髪イザベラ様
She's gonna do your hair?
朝の講義に間に合いませんいいからいいから妹のね髪をよく結んでたんだ君の髪ってビロードみたい高く売れそう売るんですか
Bet it's worth a lot. Oh my gosh.
売らない
She sold her own hair.
どう
Oh
髪が視界を
In
my
an
god, Violet Evergarden
かわいいのに
in pigtails.
ああこうして
Yes! Oh,
ねえ授業なんかやめてさどこか別のとこ行かないどこへですかどこでもいいよ
Hodgins?
what you doing?
では
He's gonna like pick out a dress for the debutante like ball for Violet.
そもそも無理だよ僕に淑女なんて
Wow.
僕は君と違うもの違うそうだよ全然違う今とても恵まれてるじゃない少し疲れてしまいましたね今 までどんな手紙を書いてきたの？たくさんの手紙を書きました。子から親へ、親から子へ。恋文？そんな方はい、定評があります。どの手紙にもさまざまな愛してるがありました。届けられるのです。普段言えない心の内も。ねえ、どうして？僕はひどい。君は優しくしてくれる。優しいですか？優しいよ。
Hiding herself.
私はただ真似ているだけです。
Doing what I've learned.
眠れないのであれば星座の話でもいたし。
Doing what she's learned.
以前天文台の仕事をした時に教わったのです。に輝く星々の物語。
That's so amazing.
You have no idea how happy Leon would be. Whoa.
これらを着用するように。
From your father sending it. That's what Hodgins is doing. That's literally what he's doing. She gets her own.
What color were Taylor's eyes, Anna?
Her hair was red.
これは君のだ。遊んで。
Is that Benedict?
これ私の知る同僚だったのでしょう。帰ってきてほしいってことじゃない。はい、夜にはここを立ちます。じゃあたくさん楽しもうね。舞踏会エスコートしていただけますか？
Reaching the hand into the light.
喜んで。
Standing directly in it. There's like a choreography to this movie.
Don't get me started, Anna. We're not supposed to talk yet.
Wait! Oh my god! They gave her like a pants. Princess Knight. Amazing.
Look at her stance. Oh my god!
みんな君を見てるよ。ねえ、そばを離れないでね。はい、
The shaking.
即します。
Hodgins, you fucking brilliant man.
イザベラ様。
Mm.
バイオレット、ありがとう。はい。
Wow.
I loved that. You could tell what was dress and what was Violet's outfit just by slightly different whites.
Whoa. Oh, the bird. Ah.
手紙書いてほしい。どなたに？と。からずっとヨーク家の娘だった。
Was the letter in the beginning of the movie like a in the future?
Amy.
今度はもう少しマシなもん持ってこい。
探したってろくなもんがない。
Jesus.
She didn't even get to keep her name. Oh. God, I love found family.
また捨て子か。たく。売っても大した。
僕の妹にする。
After we just saw you shake the bag with the money in it.
復讐だから。
It's about
Revenge.
revenge.
生き方しかさせてくれない。本当はこの子も不幸になるはずなんだ。でも僕が幸せにする。何もない僕がこの子に与える。
それが復讐？二人で死んでも知らんぞ。
君は今日から僕の妹。
You're my little sister now.
じゃあお姉ちゃん。
Oh my god, like, think about how cold it is, their hands touching each other, Violet's hands on Isabella's.
ものなんて何一つない。でもその時の僕にはそれ以上どうしようもなかった。
エイミー・バートレットだな。
勝手に。
これがあの時の女の子供か。
That woman's child.
一族ヨーク家の血を引いた私の娘。名前も過去もすべて捨てて一緒に来い。その娘の後の面倒も見てやる。その子もその方が良い。続けていけると思っているのか。
僕の人生は何もない。情熱も希望も。もし唯一素晴らしいものがある。
Then you do it.
救いたいと思うこと。それが僕の生きる理由になっていた。僕はあの時自分の人生を父と名乗る男
Who
に
said he
渡
was
した。
my father.
エイミーの過去、それからずっと離れ離れ。会うことも許されていない。
Not allowed to me.
少し似ています。もう親を知りません。拾われて武器として育てられ、ある方と会いました。その方に字を教えていただき、優しくしていただきました。敵も与えてくださいました。何も与えてあげられなかった。いいえ、
Not true.
イザベラ様は初めて友達をくださいました。それに手をつなぐと心が温かくなることを教えてくださいました。テイラー様にもイザベラ様がたくさんのことをお与えになったと。手紙ならイザベラ様の思いを。テイラー。
We know that Violet will go anywhere to deliver a letter too.
僕自身は今何もなくてあげられないけど、必ず恩返しするから。いただけません。なんで？ちゃんと払うよ。よくわからないのですが、受け取りたくないのです。ねえ、また会えるかな？ありません。ですが、エイミーさん。
Amy.
私は自動手記人形です。お客様がお望みならどこでも駆けつけます。
騎士姫様は帰ってしまったのね。
Please don't be a meanie. Like,
やっとあなたとお話できますわ。とても素敵でした。
バイオレットのおかげです。ミス・ランカスター。
アシュリーと呼んで私、家柄なんて関係なく、あなた自身と
Okay.
Has she been wanting to be friends? Like... Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
The
A couple.
best. The best, man. She can't... You're gonna have to read it to her. Oh my god, I love this. The siblings take on two siblings, basically.
The first letter's from Violet.
Wow.
Aww.
これはあなたを守る魔法の言葉です。ただそう唱えてだとよ。
ねえテイラー、エイミーはもう君を愛していたから捨てた名前だから。
Violet coming into her name in the whole series and someone abandoning their name to protect someone else.
魔法のように君が唱える限り君を幸せにしたいと願ったことは消えないんだよ。だからテイラー、
What? And this is her on the...
What a
On the
shot. She's a little older, no?
There was no name or return address on Isabella's letter because she wasn't supposed to contact Amy.
But Violet.
But Violet... God, if only Benedict delivered the mail to our house. The back of his shirt, too. Oh my god. Postal service.
You think she's looking for Benedict?
Don't run across the
Oh
room!
my god!
Look up. You're closer than you thought.
郵便です。
あの背の高い建物は一体なんだい？
だから電波塔。
He's like, this isn't my job.
頭が痛くたりするんじゃないだろうね。
4年経つんだぜ。
4 years now. Wow.
世の中が目まぐるしく進歩してても、郵便配達人の仕事は何も変わらない。
We know that Anne was still getting her letters.
毎日同じことの繰り返し。つまんねえ仕事だ。
Oh my god. Are we going to watch Benedict get a daughter?
Like Hodgins?
Yeah.
Or is this the daughter for Hodgins? Like a...
Oh.
Like he adopts her.
Fuck.
The hair, everything. Big brother, you know? He's like, I don't remember having a sibling. Her hair's grown.
Wow.
Oh
Look
my
at them
God,
both.
look at them.
What does Violet look like?
Is she even there? Yes. Okay.
Wow.
Taylor. Oh my gosh. So you're like waiting for her to have arrived, you know? Expected it. Does she want to write a letter back or something?
Wow.
We have extra stuffed animals! Just like Hodgins took in Violet at the... Oh my god.
Alright, you have 2 starters left. A bunny and a cat. Which one do you want?
Seems like it. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Come on. You want to be called daddy. Come on. Your daughter that doesn't exist yet that you wrote a letter to? Come on. Of a dear friend.
Oh my god!
Benedict.
Stop it! Oh.
Oh. How could he say no, you know? It's like you got a little sister.
The Ghostwriters.
You. Yeah, yes! I love it. I love it.
It makes so much sense.
Benedict's the one that carried the mail.
Carried the letter.
Mm-hmm.
I need matching outfits.
Oh my god. This is the cutest. Remember the uniform being really big on Violet?
Whoa. The dust in her hair blowing back.
Can she not read? Or can she?
I don't think she can.
She just knew what the letter from Violet said, so... Benedict is gonna have to... Oh my god. This is the same room that Violet brought up about being taught how to read and write.
This is
Oh my
so
God.
fucking cute.
How's that feel?
We've gone 3 years in the future. Can we go another 3 to a time that she can deliver a letter to her big sister?
Mail carriers can go everywhere, so can the dolls.
Look at this duo.
I love it. He's so speedy. And he does it all in heels. God, I'll never be as cool. Give him his props!
He deserves it. Exactly. And I saved a bridge once.
Master.
This is like the Karate Kid. This is so amazing.
Oh,
Cool.
and the lights being like what? Oh, the Hodgins and Violet conversation in the street. This is amazing. Parallels. We know she's probably gonna end up in Violet's bed, right? Ooh, she might be happy about this. It's on Violet! Violet's gonna get to repay. Oh my god.
Look at how many kids were in that one room.
Mm-hmm.
勉強して勉強して
Look at how she's holding her hands.
一人前の郵便配達人を目指しましょう
Using the words practice and then
バ
study.
イオレット
Those two letters really did carry happiness with them to Taylor.
Wow.
Has a pillow.
赤ちゃんじゃないのに一人で寝れないってかっこ悪いいいえ
She still has the bear that Amy patched up.
お外見てるの私のはクマ本当一緒に寝てたのはい
Look at it looking outside.
ねえねえと一緒に寝てた
The lack of being able to remember.
God.
Like, she was just so young.
I didn't even think about that.
ねえねえとのお話聞きたいな
She got to tell both of them things at night in bed. God, I love that.
Did you see that Violet, what she had next to her sleeping?
Some stuffing's coming out.
Oh.
Oh.
おはようございます
I love the blurriness to
The
it.
blurry of Isabella's vision to the blurriness of
Of
the
the memory.
memories for Taylor. Is she gonna want to do? Oh,
This is me the first time I tried to do
2
braids.
braids.
I was like, wait,
Oh,
there's more than 2? 3?
二つではほどけてしまいますよテイラー様
Mm-hmm.
doing her
3
hair.
つを交差
Oh
して
my
も
gosh.
ほどけないのですおはよう
We need a cute little. Yes, I was about to say we need a cute little.
And Violet's coming along too.
Tell her
Let's
she's cute.
go!
Look at her.
Oh, it's still oversized on Violet.
So we're gonna be studying while delivering the mail.
ローランド退職されたはず
He deserved it.
He misses this place too much. Yeah, honestly. When you had a job you loved and you retire.
バイオレット
Luculia!
Stop.
久しぶりね
Fan service, the movie.
学校
Did you lose your job as a doll?
じゃあ橋を渡ってすぐね
I'll go with you. Come on.
Do
Who
we
dat?
have a boyfriend?
Who dat be? Who are
じ
you?
ゃあまたね
Whoa!
Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh my god.
My god.
How does your brother approve of him? Does he like him? Do they get along? Are they
同じ
friends?
道路ですここの人は
I wonder who that man is.
面識はないようで
If we get Leon in this movie.
ここが数市街12
Let's deliver something to Tiffany. Or the Bougainvillea mansion.
これはエレベー
An
ター
elevator.
というものだそうです
Imagine going in an elevator for your first
市
time.
街の集合住宅に導入され始めた
We went from the end of Violet, like introducing the Transcontinental Railroad, to like major progress.
これを操作するのでしょ
I'm
う
guessing
I'm
we use
guessing.
動かないの
this.
Ah, yes. Okay, like up and then down. Makes sense.
少し下げます
Oh, it's like you like
That's so
manually move it.
階段の方が早かったです
Honestly.
おばあちゃんからプレゼントよ
Oh my gosh.
You're inspiring more kids.
こら
やったやったやったやった
She got some candy, didn't she? Yes, she
Oh
did.
my god.
Perks of the job.
Tip.
私
Yeah.
はい
I like that we're taking the stairs to leave.
Sometimes it's nice to do things the old-fashioned way.
それルク
She's to marry.
Boo.
I love it.
Good. Love it.
お二人にとっての花道もそうなのですか？
私は世界一のドールになるのが夢よ。
Hell yeah.
私はその小説家
You got it, Erica.
っていうか
And you had a crush the last time we saw you.
実は短編小説
Whoa!
投稿なんかもしてるの。
午後の配達の時間だ。
Oof, rainy deliveries. Oh, thank goodness. Bubbles.
Oh, the bath.
Oh my goodness. But
And the
we saw how
blurry
it
memory
looked to
from-
Isabella, which was kind of blurry.
テイラー様
Whew!
Why did they like have me scared there?
This is the second time Taylor has almost been hit by a car.
このクマも私の大事なんだ。
Wow.
大事なものがあるのは
Mhm.
とても嬉しいですね。ねえねえも私にこうやってくれてたのかな。もうほとんど忘れちゃったや。これはあなたを守る魔法の言葉です。意味ただそう唱えて。師匠がねえねの手紙を届けてくれたから。私はねえねと一緒にいた時のことも忘れちゃったけど、この手紙は残ってる。ねえねがいたこと、私を思ってくれてたこと、師匠が運んでくれたのは幸せなんだ。郵便配達はとても素晴らしい仕事です。私も幸せを運ぶ人になりたい。書きませんか、お姉様に。それにねえねになんて書けばいいかわかんないよ。
Not knowing what you would write.
私はドールです。私にお手伝いさせていただきます。
And oh my gosh.
Wow. Oh, they're both looking out the window now?
喜ぶかな。ねえね
Yeah.
え、きっと思いは伝わると思います。
We're gonna use this to. Oh, we're still teaching. I love it.
私は
Oh my god.
I see you, Leon.
朝っぱらから呼び出して。
Are you gonna ask him to deliver it for you? Like what?
手紙の配達をお願いしたいのです。
Look at her outfit. It is
know.
the cutest thing.
お前が書いたのか。
字を教えてもらって。
住所がねえぞ。
わからないんだ。エイミー・バートレット。今はイザベラ・ヨーク。ヨーク家の跡継ぎとして女学校に入学したが、卒業後の消息が分かっていないんだ。
Unknown.
しばらくは手紙のやり取りもありました。けれど、
Why did
返
this?
事が途絶えています。
Hmm.
おそらくどこかの上流貴族と結婚が、その相手は今も秘密のまま。
We need to talk to someone in the know.
そんなの。
お願い。お願い。師匠。ねえねに届けたいんだ。
Oh my god.
The man I would trust to carry my mail. Right there.
It's your time.
You know what this would take? A really good pilot.
届かなくていい手紙なんてねえからな。その代わり一つ条件がある。
Wow. Wow. See, we're using our Leon teachings for. Oh my god!
We're probably telling her the same thing
Yeah.
that we told Isabella. Did we bring him coffee?
ありがとう。ああ、しみる。
そうそう、あんた宛てに手紙が来てたわよ。
I'm scared.
Maybe like a response from an inquiry he made?
見つけた。
Okay. Whoa! So we can bring her with.
前のバイク
Oh, he just wanted
Oh
a new
my-
bike.
God.
But
って言っておいでね。
you can travel with your teacher now around the town.
行くか。
Oh my god. You gotta deliver this mail. I'm so freaking excited.
ありがとう。バイオレット。
What a cool bike, man. Aw. I got so scared. I'm like, well, she was coughing. What if she isn't here anymore?
どうか届きますように。
ヨーク家はイザベラって娘の素性をよっぽど知られたくなかった
Mm.
うん。
いくら隠しても嫁ぎ先は限られる。
Wow.
あとはしらみつぶしにしていったってわけ。
Process of elimination. Wow. I hope she married someone who would be willing to include Taylor into their family. I hope there's love, you know?
Oh my god.
だが出入りの業者から聞いた話だと、この時間にあの裏口から少しだけ奥方が姿を現すことがある。
How much digging did you do, Benedict? Holy shit.
Oh my goodness. A secret little meeting.
Wonder where she got the parasol idea.
I feel like I'm already about to cry.
ああ、あんた宛ての郵便だ。確かにイザベラ、いや、エイミー・バートレット。
テイラー。嘘。私は。私のために遠いところに行くことを選んだんだって。離れ離れになっても私を思って手紙をくれた。だから私はテイラー・バートレット、エイミー・バートレットの妹です。
Oh.
おはよう、テイラー。
Everything just comes back.
She'd forgotten so much that she didn't want to forget.
バイオレットが手伝った。
字が書けるんだ。
We're still keeping them separate because they're not allowed to see each
あんな
other.
に小さかったのにな。僕も書くよ。テイラーに手紙を。バイオレットにも届けてくれる？
ああ、そのうち俺以外のやつが来るかも。
It might be someone else. Your apprentice.
師匠、さっき泣いてた。
泣いてたの
Forget that part.
だろ。
絶対師匠も泣いてた。
本当に会わなくてよかったのか。
ちゃんと一人前の郵便配達人になったら、そしたらその時にちゃんと自分で渡すんだ。
まだ諦めてねえのかよ。
もちろん。だって郵便配達人
俺たちが運ぶのは
We.
幸せなんだろ。
エイミ
The magic word.
その後テイラー・バートレットは
What?
養子になった。仕事が許される年齢になったら
Yeah, fuck you, you little kids. We got a cool
ま
bike.
たここで郵便配達人になるらしい。
Oh my god.
郵便です。
ちょっと
Oh no.
What's that tower?
あの背の高い
But it's about happiness
Oh, okay.
now.
いつ出来上がるんだい？
We love our job. Oh my goodness. I'm happy for both of them
Yep.
here, 100%.
Wow.
The breeze carries. The flowers on the windowsill being the one from the debutante ball. So it's like the two halves had their own name. We're not gonna get another, like, oh, it's not actually over.
Okay, that was Violet Evergarden, Eternity, and the Auto Memory Doll. That was great. That was just fun. It was just happy. Like, I'm a happy person. I feel very relieved. At the beginning, I'm like, is the little girl gonna die? Is Taylor gonna die? Or halfway through, I'm like, oh shit, is Isabella gonna die? Because I'm like, Violet Evergarden has happened to me. So like those are my expectations.
You know that like Taylor could have actually gotten hit by a car.
Yeah, but funnily enough, this sounds idiotic. The moment I knew Taylor was not going to die was when we got the first flashback with her and I saw her teeth. Like the way that they animated her teeth, for some reason, it like stood out drastically to me. And I'm like, this character is not dying. This character is great and somehow healthy and was saved by Isabella, and it is going to mean everything to me because we're gonna see those teeth smile at some point in the movie. That's what like it told me. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, right here. This is the first time that we saw her teeth, and like I don't know why. It sounds so stupid, but it's different than how every other character is being depicted. Like this is her trait.
It is different than how every other character is depicted. I'd also noticed that.
This is Taylor, and like you're not showing me Taylor not going to grow up or have progress. So I was like, okay, I'm safe. And then I got worried about Isabella, but
the truth is like for Taylor that she really was safe. Like I got worried when we were in kind of the flashback that Isabella was telling us about the interaction of her kind of being adopted into the York family and renamed, abandoning Amy and becoming Isabella, and that she was told that good things would be put in order for Taylor's life. Someone can just say that, and if they're like, but you can't ever see again or meet again or talk again. Like, this whole time, Isabella had no clue if that end of the bargain was actually really being held up, if Taylor was really being taken care of well and treated well. And every scene that we saw of the orphanage, I would say, looked like a very loving and caring
Oh yeah, the
place.
nuns were reading the letters as much as they wanted.
Yeah, not only that they read the letter to her, but they were willing to reread it again to help her sleep. And it seemed like a very as loving an environment as someone could have, you know, in that circumstance.
I mean, obviously, like, me being the jaded person I am, I'm like, why the fuck isn't Taylor, like, been, like, you know, taken by a rich family that's noble and raised herself?
Because apparently they only want to take kids that they can pretend were already their existing
Well,
kids.
I mean, there was bloodline, and I also acknowledge the absurdity, and it does look like she lived at a good orphanage, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I have a ton of things that I want to talk about.
Okay.
Violet Evergarden, in my opinion, hits like a peak individualistic stride when they fuck with time. Whenever they choose to play with the time spanning within this universe and within this series, it is done masterfully, like beautifully.
And you're probably referencing two different examples of that, two different ways of doing that, which is at the beginning of this movie, seeing Taylor already on the boat with the letter, and then we go back into the past, or, you know, from our timeline, very much the present, from leaving the 13 episodes of Violet Evergarden to the writing of the letter, and then to, you know, 3 years later. That both of those are two different examples of kind of playing with time, both actually in the story, we're like, okay, we're going in the future, to also the editing, like, and when we're showing past and when we're showing future.
It's brilliant because it's all based off of the script, right? Like, you're not choosing an editing when you're going to show which. You've written in when you're showing.
We were supposed to see Taylor on the boat with the letter.
And seeing how worn it was and how beautiful the animation was.
We're seeing the happiness that what we then see, the journey to even getting to a place. Because, like, if you think about the 13 episodes of Violet Evergarden, if we talk about parallel, the 13 episodes, what happens in the finale is Violet finally writes a letter for herself for the first time, from herself. And what we see in this is the person holding a letter, and then we see the journey of the character Isabella coming to be able to partake in writing that letter to Taylor.
Like, I think that is one of the aspects that they do great in regards to time and, like, skipping time. But another thing, it's two things what I love about it. I'm really glad that we didn't see Taylor grow up and become a postman to deliver that letter herself, because in the back of my mind, this is something that Violet Evergarden can do, right? They could do that.
They could have, because, like, think of Anne's episode. Like, Anne, they age her up to receiving her letters, like, far, far into the future.
Yeah, and we already get it put on the table that she says to Benedict that that's what she wants to do. At that moment that she vocalized that, I was like, don't give it to me then. Like, and I thought that it was beautiful that they didn't, and her screaming out Taylor's name and the flowers just moving slightly was 1,000% the right call. Now, however, I will say, I don't think the reason is this, but it's an interesting point that we don't go past this timeline in history, and there's something else that we're going to watch. We have seen how far Layden has progressed in 3 years, and
Violet looks very much the same in that time span.
And I know that you could have a flash forward with Isabella and Taylor and it not include Violet, but we got an unanswered question at the end of this movie. We have Iris and Erica talking about what their ideas of what to do with their life later on
With
are.
Lakulia being introduced in terms of, like, is she going to continue to be a doll
Correct.
if she's married off?
And then we get the look of Violet being unanswered. And I'm like, is that a reason, like, that we don't go past this 3 year? Like, is that what's going to be explored next movie?
It's like, could be like Violet's future is still unanswered, and that's what we can continue to see, because Violet has been able to grab her even her present and her life and feel like she can carry her past and move forward throughout all that we've seen of her and throughout her experiencing. You said it at the beginning of this movie, it's like we're following Isabella as the protagonist through all of our mini journeys of every episode of Violet Evergarden. Violet is learning these things and how to kind of grab onto what she wants and her desires and live with her past. What would be the future that she desires? And I feel like that could definitely be the next content. I wanted, before we leave it, you had said, like a couple minutes ago, I wanted something, and I wanted to kind of talk on that for a second. You brought up the fact that we don't get Taylor in the future being a mail carrier, being able to deliver the letters herself to Isabella. And I think that something in terms of how they wrote the dialogue could show us that wasn't going to happen. If you think to the very beginning of their story, of Isabella and Taylor's story, it wasn't the very beginning of the movie, but it was the beginning of the telling of their story, which is the idea that Isabella, as Amy, looks at Taylor, and in those couple seconds of just really looking at her, in that time she makes up her mind and she sticks with it, that she's gonna give this little girl a better life.
Yeah.
And at the very end of the movie, we have Benedict questioning Taylor, like, are you sure you've made up your mind on this, that you didn't want to meet her? And Taylor is reaffirming that she made up her mind and this is what she's gonna do.
Yeah.
You know?
I love it. I think that, like, one of the things that has really stood out for me is our fuck up of when we chose to watch the OVA.
Yeah.
And what that, like, unintentionally shined a light on for me was how much this series cares to show us a character after we've seen the development happen on screen, and what the change in Violet is through all of her points of understanding complexities of emotion and then other people, and then trying to do with it what she does. What we never got, because the series ended, was what Violet looks like after sending that letter, after writing that letter and understanding what I love you is, right? We get to see
what Violet is after learning what I love you means.
Yeah, and like it was on fucking display. Like this entire, obviously the first half mainly, but holy shit was it on display. And then her writing the letter too, like to Taylor. Like,
right, but there's still so much what we also see is, like, yes, we see the Violet of after Violet Evergarden, the 13 episodes, but what we also see is there's still so much that she has to learn. When, like, think to the bath scene where it's like, this is what friends do, and then it's sleeping together. Oh, is this what friends do too? And Isabella is like, well, I don't know. But to Violet, this is also her kind of learning this friendship in this way, and having new relationships and ways to interact with other people, and still understanding people and growing in that understanding. Honestly, like, a Violet 10 years in the future, like, I would want to talk to her.
I got really scared at the Ashley conversation with Isabella, like, building up to it, because we got Violet's reaction to Ashley, like, in the first 10 minutes of the movie, and I was like, oh no, don't be a bitch.
They
Don't
were
like
making they didn't do anything really to
Yeah.
make me think that Ashley Lancaster was gonna be a mean
it's
girl.
just like another movie
But
trope
like,
that I thought I was scared of.
And how they entered the room, like the choreography, like Violet enters from behind Isabella into the classroom. What happens is immediately as they enter the classroom, there are 4 girls standing in a line, you know, confronting them, like physically in terms of choreography, not actually confronting them. And there's one girl that, you know, is in front, and maybe how they did her eyebrows or facial expression could have given like resting bitch face a little bit. And so this whole time, and then we get her shots of her kind of watching the interactions between Violet and Isabella throughout their 3 months together, that whole time I was like, is she gonna be a mean, like, is she a mean girl, or is she just a rich girl that I'm putting too much on, and she actually she has no, they're putting her in the same position, they could be putting her in the same position. She is also from a rich family, put into this all-girls school to live a certain duty, like live a certain future, and her life for her family is kind of already dictated. That's just who she is, and that's the parallel, is that we're meeting a girl who was actually born into that family and raised that way, and then that contrasts with the protagonist girl being Isabella, who was not born and raised that way, and is now coming into being of the York family. But to have it be that whole time it was like Ashley wanted to be friends with Isabella. And I think that one of the things I can attach to of why that might have been, obviously there were tons of other girls at this school, but they both were noted in terms of like being talked about as being from very prominent families. And if you think about it, Ashley could have felt incredibly isolated at this school. There's the handmaids of the other people from wealthy families. The other people from wealthy families that aren't of the same status are going to try to, you know, make a better relationship with you to help their families get ahead. They might have been told by their parents, like, make sure you're nice to Ashley Lancaster. You know, this could have been Ashley viewing, like, this could be someone I could actually have a friendship with, because we're of similar
What did
standing.
Ashley preface the conversation with? Like, I want to talk to you without all that shit. Like, that
and
was
call
like,
me Ashley.
Oh, yeah, I know. Like, it just made
like
me...
someone who might actually treat her as Ashley and not as Miss Lancaster.
Yeah. Damn. Selling her hair for money. That hurt. But we got to see, you know, what she went through. And it gave us a very clear idea of what was going on through the war, too.
And it makes me think to the ending with Isabella, Amy, as well, is the letting down of the hair. That idea that she had to cut her hair, and now she's in a position of safety, but her hair is still tight and short. And I think that could be a visual representation of her still unknowing of where Taylor is and if Taylor's safe. Like, she wrote a letter to Taylor, but that doesn't mean she knows that letter, you know, found her, and that Taylor's safe, and that Taylor's okay, and Taylor's happy. There's still so many things and reasons why Isabella probably feels like she has to still keep herself very tightly wound in order to protect Taylor wherever she is. Because to protect this secret of Amy Bartlett's existence. But to let down her hair and be in the white dress that she's in, that like kind of like nightgown-esque, like not very like rigid lady of the manor dress with a parasol, like we first meet her in this 4 years later, it's like she can finally feel whatever freedom is obtainable for her in the life that she lives. I think that this is just like a showing of, honestly, I think that's what this whole show's about, is we all have our own circumstances and our own duties that we might be bound to. So what is the freedom, what is our taste of it that is obtainable to us, and our appreciation for the things that we do have?
Do you feel like the one for the aspect of freedom being portrayed in this movie was the depiction of birds?
100%.
Seeing Amy or Isabella in the ballroom staring up, I almost was disoriented, like spinning around. But I was also like just like lost in my head trying to think about what interpretation I'm gonna go with of what that scene means in the moment, and then in hindsight, what interpretation am I gonna go with for it being a painting above her, and then her feelings on that night, and then what does it mean in the life that she currently lives and lived, but what she managed to do for the aspiration that she had that was outside of her. Like, I'm trying to, like, really nail it down.
I wonder what was her reason for ceasing communication with Violet originally. Like, she was writing letters with Violet back and forth, but then those letters stopped.
For secrecy, could have been.
I feel like there's two ways that you can maybe, like, theorize or guess what that was. The first is, does she go back in her hole a little bit once she's married off? Like, once she felt like she had obtained some sort of peace from her interactions with Violet during the debutante phase, but then once she's actually kind of sent away to some new manor to live in by herself and feeling more isolated, that isolation, like, loneliness creeps in a little more. She goes a little more internal and regresses a little bit. Like, that's a way that you could see it. Or you could see it just from the pure secrecy aspect, that maybe she was told that, you know, she needed to stop communication so much, or she needed to make sure she hold herself up in this manner, and either the people around the manor haven't even really seen her. Maybe it's all a part of the, like, what she has to do as her duty to her father, the York family, of never letting the Amy Bartlett secret be found out, is be isolated. Like, maybe she feels like that's what she has to do in order to keep up her end of the bargain, keep Taylor safe, is stay isolated. Not that she herself feels isolated. Well, I guess they would then work in tandem, because if you're having to be isolated, then you would then feel isolated.
I think that this movie was a visual masterpiece. It was a feat. It was like, it was a buffet. To such, like, I've been sitting here for the past 10 minutes trying to figure out, like, how to put into words, like, what's the right approach, and I can't figure it out. My first attempt was like, okay, I can bring up how a show like Demon Slayer is known for incredible animation, apparently. Like, that's consensus, right? And, like, it's a visual spectacle, and it's amazing. And I got nowhere with it, because I can't articulate how precious and perfect something like this fits, because obviously it's realism, but attention is put in so many different areas within this piece of work, within this artwork. It truly feels so. Like, it started with the way that they're able to encapsulate 3D space in obviously two-dimensional drawings. Like, the rooms that were in the first half of this movie, I had started breaking a little bit of the fourth wall, a little bit into recording videos and trying to keep notes and track of our thoughts. We realized that if we're trying to write down, like, an entire quote, we could risk missing something happening in the show that we're watching or whatever we're paying attention to.
And it could end up not being worth it at all, because you look down and it's, like,
scribbled. So one of the things that we incorporated is a timer that's below our television that we can start at the same time we watch the episode. So if we want to paraphrase anything and write down a quick moment that the episode occurs in, later on we can bring up that timestamp and then, you know, articulate what that was. And same with visual scenes. I had started writing down lists of examples of time codes of every three-dimensional beautiful landscape that I've seen or room that I've depicted, a stairwell, and it got frustratingly, like, there's too many. Like,
time codes.
It was so good, and the time lapses were too good to be true. Like,
There's a lot of, like, cute little editing things that happened that I was like, I feel like Ben is living a good life right now.
The time lapses blew me away, and I'm like, what's the reference? It's a 1-for-1. It has to be a video reference. It's like, there's that uncanny, like, time-lapse feel that you get watching a time-lapse when you see the little, like, yeah, sure, the water in the background, you're seeing a boat go a little quicker, whatever, but, like, the things close to the lens, like, the leaves,
the
like,
shakiness of the leaves,
it's so good. It was absolutely beautiful. And the color grading, the color in this movie absolutely blows anything out of the first the episodes of Violet Evergarden, even though they were spectacular. But the extra time, I really feel it in the shading and the lighting and the differences of whites and grays and like the off-whites. You brought up the dress difference between Violet and Isabella, and you being able to tell on a close-up pan-up just because of the subtle white difference.
They were literally like just slightly different whites, like eggshell to, like that is impressive to me. Like that's so unnecessary, but it's how they did it, that they had everyone there. Like if you saw some of the shots of everyone, you can tell that like there's a lot of different whites happening with all the different
Violet's
outfits.
Is slightly cooler.
Yeah, a cooler white to like a warmer, dimmer white. Yeah, for Isabella. And honestly, I absolutely loved that. I would say one of my favorite visuals that, I'm gonna go to that point in a second.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to latch on to something that you were finishing off saying first before I go to the next thing I want to talk about. And so I'm gonna latch on to like you bringing up the color in it, and I would bring up then the consistency. Like even if this is beautiful, possibly even more outstanding and beautiful than the 13 episodes, there was still an amazing consistency to the already top-notch music and animation and visuals and choices of adding clues to the story.
Question, what does that mean then? Like, isn't it a roundabout way of just being like, the initial series was drop dead perfect and you couldn't help it? Like if we're watching the epitome of perfection artistically in the movie and we're like, there's only slightly difference, like in the actual, like, it was beautiful. Like the music, everything. It felt like, it didn't feel like, oh shit, like, it didn't feel like Dragon Ball Super, the TV series, watching Dragon Ball Super Broly. I mean, like, this is what they can do with, like, no, everything is...
It didn't feel like we left.
Beautiful. It didn't feel like we left, yeah.
The people who were creating it didn't leave either. They were here to create this.
So right.
My favorite visual that happened within this, and it kind of goes on to a different thought. My favorite visual was the bubbles. When we first get the bubbles, it is this quick, like before we really know Isabella, and it's before we really know what her past was like and why she, as she says, is mean to Violet. Mm-hmm. It's before we really understand her, and there's a blur to the bubbles. You literally just pulled it up, so I'm gonna wave. There's a blur to the bubbles, and then we then go into a little bit of the backstory, just a quick little first interaction between her and Taylor and the bathtub. And then from that, I would say that to then end, obviously, with the clearer bubbles with Taylor seeing the little kids blowing bubbles. But what the bubbles represent to me, other than the beautiful fact that we change how they look based on the character that's viewing them, is the fact, like, it made me think of the fact that Isabella keeps the bathroom door open. That makes me think of her past. The one room with the bed and the bathtub all in one room. The basically bathing together even if you aren't actually bathing together because you're just in one room together being close. And the fact that when she's in the bathroom in this school and that Violet's there, she keeps the door open. She bathes with the door open as if this is all one room, as if this is more comforting to her to be able to interact still with the person that is sharing this space with her, to bathe together even if we're not actually both bathing, Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's incredibly beautiful. And we get some of the first inklings that that's what's happening with the bathroom kind of staying open and this room becoming, all encompassing, is we get shots of Violet in the bed with Isabella from the bathroom. Mm-hmm. That we're linking those two rooms by having one of the cameras, if you will, from inside the bathroom to view the rest of the room through the doorway. Yeah. So that was one of my favorite kind of visuals that was happening within this episode.
I liked seeing like the lack of memory Taylor has, like, and it being portrayed in that same blurry way.
I didn't even think Oh,
Like how-
and it being portrayed in the same
Yeah.
blurry way. Beautiful.
Mhm.
I didn't even think about that, to be honest. Like, I wasn't, like, in my head, I wasn't like, this is how old she is and this is what her memories would be like. It didn't even occur to me that she wouldn't have the memories, that it makes sense she wouldn't because of age.
At the like the bathtub scene, I'm in the same boat as you. And then when we get to see like their first meeting and her trying to pronounce sister, I was like, oh, that's how young this fucking kid was. Like, oh shit. Like, I loved all the memories
And
coming back at the end.
Even if you don't, and also it's beautiful because we're talking about how letters are filled with love and we're precious memories, people's feelings are precious. Here we have the idea of a child who, even though they can't remember everything, they can still feel the emotions that were attached to that particular item or thing. Or like the memory is the brooch, the memory is a teddy bear stuffed animal.
Violet was laying next to when they were in bed together in the second half, when I was like, oh my god, did you see what she was laying? It was just the brooch being there. I was like, oh my god.
And it's that things, the items or memories can obtain just feelings alone, that happiness and love will get across no matter what. Even if time has passed, memories are hazy, that person is no longer in your life, they're somewhere far away.
I loved Hodgins picking out the dress for Violet. I loved that Violet pleading to Hodgins about Taylor in the first place made him see Violet like at the start of the series.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. I loved just all the Benedict appreciation we got. That was
Which, honestly,
perfect.
Thank goodness for the Benedict appreciation, because I feel like we left the very ending of Violet Evergarden being like, Benedict literally just risked his whole life. Well, I mean, they would have died probably anyway, but he was willing to jump out of a moving train on a bridge because of Violet's, heating and instructions, and work together with her as a team. And he's a standout character of this series. And for this to be like his own experience of kind of almost being like an older brother, getting to see through someone else's eyes and appreciation for his career that he has.
Everything feels so like well and alive within this universe. Like Roland being retired only to be like,
but he still comes
like,
and
I'm like,
hangs
that
out.
makes yeah, you're right. Like that adds up. Bakulia getting okay, yeah. Like it's so good. Man, I am excited for what's next, but it seems to be the last thing, I imagine, that we'll be watching.
I don't want it to be the last thing, but
You
whatever
kinda,
it's gonna
like-
be is gonna be beautiful.
You kind of got my hopes up when you were like, only one person can make this delivery. I'm like, is Mr. Vandal coming back? Is that what Anna meant? And then that didn't happen, but it's fine.
Did you at least like during the episode when I brought up the really good pilot could do this at the Benedict scene where he hasn't said yes yet to delivering the
That's what I'm
letter?
talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you're trying to tell me that Mr. Vandal's gonna come?
Oh,
and I
that's
was like,
the moment.
yeah,
that
I was
got
like, a really
your
good
hopes up.
pilot?
See, I thought I was just gonna make your day by like relating and Benedict to Mr. Vandal, but apparently no, I just ruined your day. That's great.
Yeah. Well, Violet Evergarden, Eternity and the Auto Memory Doll. Great. I have I don't know if we talked about it at the end of last episode, but like whenever I'm coming into a movie from a series, I'm always like stupidly like, oh, canon, non-canon, in the idea that I would love to know if the original creator participated in writing what I'm about to watch.
Yeah.
And it
Or if they did
impression-wise,
participate, but it takes place in almost like a different universe or different timeline than the original story.
impression-wise, it's the same as the OVA, and I'd put both of them into the same category of like, oh, it's all one perfect fixed work, and it all is written by the same person. That's how it feels like coming off of it.
I remember feeling during this, specifically the all-girls school Princess Knight arc, I was like, this could have been its own anime. Like, obviously, it's not, and I feel that way about a bunch of the little stories that we get, different episodes of Violet Evergarden, that they all could have been their own anime. But this obviously got a little more time
Yeah.
to it. So, and just like the fun of her being the princess knight of this school and all of the girls being like, oh my gosh. The fact that Hajin's picked out not a dress, but like a jumpsuit, pantsuit thing for Violet. The fact that Violet gets a new title because she isn't a battle doll anymore. You know, she isn't in war anymore. Peace has come to be. So she deserves new names that don't have anything to do with fighting. And now she has that. She's a princess knight.
All right, that's all I have, you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We hope to see you next time.